to Southern Lady 44, and today I'm gonna show you how to make sourdough biscuits. Y'all come on, it's gonna be fun. Okay, y'all, let's get to baking. Now, I have already put in 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. You can use Crisco, whatever your preferred oil is, and I've already been mixing it. Now, if you don't have one of these handy dandy pasty mixers, might want to get you one. They're wonderful. I know when I first got married and started baking on my own and had to have my own stuff, I couldn't afford stuff like this, so I just used a fork. But anything that you can cut that oil, the Crisco, the coconut oil, whatever oil you choose into, works great. And a fork will do it. This just really does it. Now, next we're gonna add the rest of our dry ingredients. Oh, and I've got 2 1/4 cups of flour in here. Now that may change as we go because it depends on the temperature and the humidity and stuff and how wet your actual starter is. So we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. And the reason I'm adding that sugar is sourdough is sour. So I'm going to cut that just a little bit with that sugar. And I'm going to mix my dry ingredients up. Now, like I said, the starter, it just depends. So what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm going to put 1 cup of my starter in here. If it doesn't make it wet enough, I will add buttermilk to cut it the rest of the way. So I've got it stirred up. I just stirred it up. And I can see already that's not going to be enough, but we'll start mixing. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to add some more starter to it. So that was 1 cup. We're going to add another 1/2 cup, and I will cut the rest with buttermilk. Add some buttermilk. Now I use whole buttermilk. I don't use that low fat stuff. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it up right, as you can tell. And you just keep adding the buttermilk till it's the right consistency. And if I had to write out an actual recipe, I don't know how I'd do it because I eyeball. Y'all know I eyeball stuff. You just have to, that's part of learning to cook and bake. You learn what is the right consistency. You don't want it too goopy, but it can be too dry too. Just a hair more. Oven's warmed up. And I'll be back when I get this mixed up. Okay, we've got it all mixed up, and I'm going to show you my shame. Even though I have baked thousands and thousands of biscuits and loaves of bread, cinnamon rolls and stuff like that, I don't roll out my biscuits, and I can't go in there with my hand. I end up looking like the glob when I do that. So this is how I came up with it decades ago, to make a nice and neat biscuit. Take a tablespoon. Now I make cat head biscuits. I like them big. Drop it in some flour. Flip it over. And then pat out your biscuit. And set it in there, in the pan. Now, when I get this flour off, where I can turn that off, I'll be back when we get this done. Okay, we've got them all patted out and in the pan. So I've got some melted butter here, and I'm just gonna brush on the top, and this just makes them nice, buttery, golden brown. Yummy. Now while I'm doing this, let me go over a little bit. See this container, this big pickle jar I got my starter in? Now that is a starter that's just made with water and half whole wheat flour, half regular white flour. I need to use up some of my organic whole wheat flour. Very important, if you're not using sugar and salt when you do that, you have to sterilize that jar. Just like you would a mason jar before you would put something up. The jar washed real good, but then you've got to sterilize it in boiling water for at least a minute and a half. Now, of course, a jar that big, unless you've got a gigantic pot, you know, what are you gonna do? But I just had some boiled and poured it over in there and shook it around several times, poured it out, and that's how I sterilized my jar. So now we're gonna put these in the oven at 375 and let them bake. Top shelf, middle lace. Oh man, that looks fun. Let's get them out of the pan and try them. Hey, looky here. Y'all know I'm on a diet, and I'm not supposed to have bread, so I'm gonna sacrifice for y'all. I'm gonna have to taste this. Honey on it, and butter. Oh, slap your mama. These things are delicious. Now, y'all saw me bake those big cat head biscuits in a cast iron pan. So we took about 35 minutes to get them done. Now if you roll them out and use a cookie cutter and make smaller biscuits, put them on a cookie sheet or something like that, it's not going to take as long to get them done. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, learned anything, please like and subscribe. And this is Southern Lady 44 signing out. Oh, some honey. Oh, what is that doing in my own? It's supposed to be off.